We're here in the dressing room and Robert Smith is fresh off stage. I say fresh off stage. You're quite sweaty off stage.
Yeah, I wouldn't say fresh is the right word to use, actually, but yeah, just off stage.
Yeah. How was that for you?
Yeah, it was, like I said on stage, a strange day, actually, because it's been almost a year since we played in front of people as a band, and the day started quite, for me, ridiculously early. I mean, we were doing a session at like 4 in the afternoon or so, 5. I mean,
ridiculous.
Honestly, I mean, it is seriously. But yeah, that was really good. I mean, actually having an audience there, and it kind of it's a weird mix of makes us kind of slightly tentative at the beginning. We're all not quite sure. That's a close audience as well. It's been a long, long time since I've played to a front row that I can reach out and tickle their noses. It's
They're more scary, aren't they, when you can see people?
Well, I am actually pretty short-sighted, and the reason why I don't really wear glasses in normal life is because I've just grown used to seeing an amorphous sort of sea of people. If I find it very easy. If I could see individual faces, I think I'd freeze, actually.
Yeah.
It would be very, very hard.
So what was it like before you went out on stage amongst the whole band? How were you all?
Well, it's been a strange week because we've been rehearsing and we're doing this thing at the Siouxsie in London, which is like so our focus has kind of been on the album, and so that's like another layer really, because we haven't played some of the album songs. So we played 5 of the 8 in front of people, but 3 of them are new, and it's always one of like you like to introduce new songs, as you kind of go along. But this is, so we were going to do them all tonight.
All the new songs?
Yeah, we were going to do everything today. But 2 days ago, I just made an executive decision that we weren't quite ready for. Not that we can't play them, but it's too much. We're all kind of like looking at our instruments. So I made the sets a bit more kind of like friendly, fan friendly, and also band friendly. So it's, particularly this that we've just done was much more upbeat and kind of like, and I enjoyed it actually. I'm glad that we have band meetings in inverted commas, and I say what we're going to do, and everyone
agrees.
Looks at me. But yeah, it was good. It was really good fun. Once I thought End Song actually tonight, the last song of the set was great. I felt like we suddenly kind of clicked into like what we really do. And that was really fab. But,
I interviewed people as they were leaving the show just now, and End Song was mentioned a couple of times. People just saying they didn't really know it. Was it on the album? And I said, yeah, it's the End Song. And they were like, oh my God, it's majestic, it's incredible. Yeah. But the fact that they picked that up and they said how wonderful it was, majestic it was.
It's one of those things that I could feel it on stage. We suddenly clicked, and we became when we played like almost 100 shows in 2022, 2023, and we became a really. I mean, I say this myself. This sounds dreadful. We were a really good live band.
Blow your own trumpet, Robert. Why don't you?
After a year, it's actually quite hard. So we're in rehearsal, and I'm keeping everyone there for like 8-10 hour days, determined that we'll kind of, but you just don't, you just can't fall back into that thing unless there's an audience there. You're on stage, but it happened in End Song. It's like really good. It's the reason why I still do it.
For that feeling.
Yeah. It's like, and you could actually see the crowd kind of respond to it as well. So it's a different thing. The End thing was people dancing and stuff like that. But End Song it's special when things like that happen. It just feels really good.
It validates the album, doesn't it? When you see the response, it's reassuring. You can see from the audience are liking the new material.
It's been strange because we introduced Alone and Ends on the beginning, the opening and closing songs on the very first show we did back in 2022 with this lineup, and just everyone was like, oh, they're playing new songs. Where are they from? And we gradually introduced the songs. So by the end of the I think we did it. We ended in 2023 in South America, and we were playing pretty much 8. In fact, we were playing 8 new songs, but they're not all on this album, which is weird as well. So, but yeah, they don't feel like new songs to us. That's the thing. But the 3 new songs, we played one earlier today, and it definitely felt like a new song. It does get harder. It's the one thing that gets harder as you grow older, as I'm sure everyone that's grown older, who are they, knows. It's really hard to feel, to retain the information, and for it just to be there at your fingertips. You have to concentrate a little bit more. Yeah, it's like also it's this really stupid thing that I have to do on the 6-string bass, come down the neck, and it's like I was dreading it. I was saying to him, I wish we'd opened with it so I could got it out of the way instead of having it as the third end song, because I was dreading it all the way through the Six Music thing today. But yeah, it's been a strange reaction as well, because the new songs aren't really new songs, so people who've been to see us, they know these songs, so I think they're about to hear like the definitive versions. Although I'm not so sure they are. I think they are.
They'll evolve.
There will be the definitive version because they're there on the album forever, kind of thing. But I think that every time we play those songs, the big songs live, I think they are kind of definitive to everyone that's there. So I always want us to go on stage and play the best show ever, including today. So it's.
Do you want to go back on stage afterwards? Do you do the thing of analysing and going, oh God, if I could just do that one more time?
Not so much that, it's like stopping where we stopped. Incredibly frustrating. We all just want to go, like, we don't play for that short. It's like, everyone's like, oh, come on, they're essentially, let's do another few songs. I said, we can't, everyone's going home.
I actually thought you might do that. It really, I totally got that sense of like, they're just going to keep doing more stuff.
We were standing at the top of the stairs, like, and everyone's looking at me, but I thought, it's we'd still be playing now. I don't know.
Yeah, no, they'd be unplugging you. There's no way. The BBC, they'd be like,
that's happened before. So.
Has it? Let's play a song now. I just wanted to ask you about some songs that have been an influence. So actually, with this particular new album, do you listen to things? Do you get influenced by things, or do you consciously not want to hear new artists?
I do listen to a lot of new music, actually, just because I've got a very large family, an extended kind of like, not an immediate family, but so yeah, I get exposed to a lot of new stuff, and I get told, you should listen to this, you should listen to that.
Is there anyone new that you've heard recently that
I liked the NewDad album? Actually, I thought that was really good. That's been on in my car for a long time. We rehearse in a place in Brighton, which is like it's a big old rehearsal room. Lots of new bands are in there, so we sort of we swan in and kind of take it for granted what we're doing, and it reminds you after a few days there, all this really excited youngsters who it just takes me back to like why I started doing it and why I'm still doing it. It's that, and it's for moments that we still get. A year away it's killing me, really.
You've said that you're enjoying the live gigs now more than, or the past 10 years, you've just absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
How is that? Why is that?
I have. 2022 and 2023 were probably my two favourite years of The Cure for a couple of decades, actually, just because we had the freedom to go out and just play music to people, and it's something that I think I forgot about, really. It's like, although it's been a long time since I've been on the treadmill of album tour, it's like distant history, but it's funny that we're kind of back with Universal again. We're sort of stepping back onto it.
Yeah.
But I liked us just becoming like a group that plays music, goes around and just plays music to people. We've got a lot of songs. We were able to play songs for the first time ever in front, and B-sides and stuff. And it's just as exciting as playing new songs. I think the motivation, the excitement really comes from when we did the Hyde Park show in 2018, that the anniversary thing. It did do something to me, because there were a lot of people around me saying, like, you could stop now, and I was thinking to myself, I should stop now. This is a really good it's like it's a good way to end the book, kind of thing. But
then what would you do with the creativity and with the rest of your life?
Well, I mean, it's a different thing though with the band. It's kind of, it is different. It's like it's different being the singer in the band than doing something. Like, I've done things with other people where I just feel. I don't know what the word, the bucket. It's like I feel kind of like smaller somehow. When we do this, the band has become quite a big thing, and so when I walk out on stage, it's like I love it because there's like an enormous amount of attention, and it's like, so the point of doing all this is like, when we're in rehearsals, everyone's looking at me, and I'm like, come on, it's like, loads of people are going to listen to this. When I do things on my own, I don't really have that. I just kind of think maybe it'll work, maybe it won't work. So I suppose in 2018 I kind of thought I would move into that more, be a bit quieter, be a bit more in the shadows. But the response to the Hyde Park thing, and also doing the Meltdown curation, and meeting lots of people that I'd heard but never spoken to before, it did really excite me, and I thought, right, I want to do this again. So 2019 we started recording this album. It seems it's a long time ago now. And then COVID and then various other things. Yeah. But when we picked up again in 2022, I'd kind of changed my mind about a lot of things, and I just wanted us to go out and play music. I wasn't really interested in promoting The Cure, So it was just a continuation on of what we've been doing for a few years prior to that. And it's only really in the last year that I thought to myself, I should probably finish this album.
I'm glad you have. And it's an incredibly personal album, and I'm sure some of those songs are very hard to perform live in front of an audience.
Yeah, a couple of them I don't know, hard. I mean, they drag me back into into a mindset, and I suppose an emotional state, which I don't mind actually, because it kind of reminds me of how to feel. That sounds a bit. But otherwise,
it connects you, because one's about your brother, isn't it? And so maybe it's you connect.
Yeah,
with him.
they do. They all. All the songs do actually. A lot, not all. The dumb songs don't. I don't stand there and sing The Walk and think, oh, I remember walking around the lake. Although I do actually. But the emotional songs still reconnect me with So it's if when we do it too much, I do find myself becoming a little bit maudlin. I realise sometimes that's probably enough. We've been touring for long enough. I get very kind of self-obsessed and stuff. So
maybe it's like looking at an old photograph and just having that lovely feeling of nostalgia.
Rereading a diary, it feels like, you kind of think, oh yeah, and so everything becomes very raw again, and it's like but the on the upside is that I'm actually out there on stage being able to sing, and so it really does help me. Certainly in 2022 when we started doing these songs, I felt really. There's nothing better than going out. There's nothing better than singing, if I'm honest. It's somehow better in front of people if I'm singing well, but just singing anyway. I love singing. Yeah. I sing to my sheep.
You said earlier on that you keep very strange hours. Are you nocturnal? What's your pattern?
I've got the only nocturnal sheep in Britain. Seriously, I've trained them to go.
You've got sheep, so you genuinely have sheep?
I honestly have sheep, yeah.
Do you have a farm?
No, I've just got sheep. I'm just I'm trying to train them, because apparently you can't train sheep. But I'm determined. I've trained one of my sheep to shake hands. Seriously,
no way.
No, honestly, at night. I will probably post at some point before the end of the year. I shall. That's what I'm waiting.
Showing off your sheep.
Something like another viral moment for me. I can't get them to talk, but they do listen though. They're very good listeners.
But you're to be found wandering around in the dark. I know. No, but you do stay up at night and walk around.
Yes, I do live at night. My reason for being in a band was primarily so I didn't have to get up for work. It really is. I didn't ever think I'd be able to endure a boss, and I didn't ever think I'd be able to get anywhere on time in the morning. I couldn't. At school was my mum's voice was every day ringing up the stairs. You've got 5 minutes on that bus.
And you missed
one day I don't have to do this, and so it's weird because the others all get up. They're all like daytime people, and I honestly I go to bed at I do listen to the breakfast show, and I do watch the sun come out, and then I go to bed. I wasn't joking. That's actually how I live. So
when you said that, all I thought was, so he doesn't listen to our show, then that's fine.
Well, of course I do.
But what do you do through the night? What kind of do you watch TV, or what are you doing?
So you teach your sheep through the day. I just do it by night. It's I don't do it because I think it stems from honestly because I didn't want to get up in the morning, and for years and years I thought being in a band. Everything that my working day it starts at sort of like 8 or 9 o'clock at night. So and generally ends when the sun comes up.
So you're making music.
I've always enjoyed that sort of feeling of being at night. When I lived in London for 10 years, this is going right back to the 80s. It was much quieter at night. I used to go out and walk around and things. It was just like it was better than daytime. And I've never really changed. I've always been the same. It bothers me around about January. I start to get really miserable. Yeah. If you think I'm miserable. God, January.
Really bad.
I don't see daylight for the whole of January, so sometimes that gets to me. But Yeah, I don't know. I just like being out at night. I've got a telescope and I look at the stars. So I mean, it would be hard to do that if I was a daytime person. So sometimes I spend all night just outside, just looking up.
Yeah. Very peaceful, very solitary. You don't get lonely?
Just an occasional...
Yes, your sheep sings to you sweetly. Can I ask you for a couple of song suggestions? Is there a song that reminds you of your childhood, that takes you back to your mum and dad, being in the family home, going on family holidays maybe, in the car, long car journeys?
I was just looking, because I used to be given back these badges, and I haven't looked at these for ages, so I thought, that would be Help.
Oh, the Beatles.
That's one of the, because I remember when we were kids, that's what we used to run around the house singing.
Really? So that's the song?
Help! I need somebody, help! Yeah.
Did you have, was there a lot of music in the house when you were growing up?
Yes, because I not only an older brother but an older sister, so she was like a Rolling Stones fan, and my brother was always into much more sort of esoteric stuff. But they both liked the Beatles, and so in the early 60s, I mean, we had all that stuff. The Everly Brothers, and like Dream was probably like the first song I ever learnt to sing. I used to sing it, and the first song I ever learnt on the guitar as well. But yeah, I loved the Beatles, like from like 64, probably when I was 5 years old. They were like nursery rhymes. So one of my older brother or sister would be singing the Beatles, and I'd kind of just, I didn't know it was the Beatles, obviously, I had no idea, but so I know all this, and the Rolling Stones and all that stuff. So the 60s music kind of was my bedtime music, And
the first bands that you went to see live, who did you go and see?
The first, I went to see Rory Gallagher at the Brighton Dome. In fact, it's 50 years ago this year, I think, since I went. What year are we in? 2024 or something?
Yeah.
Something like 74. I was 15. Yeah. So, yeah, Rory Gallagher at the Brighton Dome. It was the first show I bought a ticket to and went on my own. And yeah, it was an astonishing performer. I didn't like his band, but when he played on his own with just like a dobro steel guitar, it's like, I'm not a blues man, but
that was
it was
impressive.
Astonishing. Yeah. And lots of stuff. The best shows I went to see Thin Lizzy around the same time, which lives with me forever. And Alex Harvey and the Rolling Stones I went to see that year as well. I saw Bowie around that time, and yeah, it was. I went to see a lot of bands. Mahavishnu Orchestra, that was a fantastic. It's like, I went to see anyone that played, basically anyone in Brighton. I mean, I'd saved all the little money that I could earn, just to go and see people play music. So. And
were you in the audience looking up thinking, I want to be up there? Was there anyone in particular who you thought, God?
Yeah, Jimi Hendrix. I went to we were on a camping holiday at the Isle of Wight with me and my younger sister and my mum and dad, and my older brother was there with some of his friends, and I didn't get in. They wouldn't let me in, but I was there, and it always stuck with me. I thought, God, it was just over the hill, and I thought I could have seen Jimi Hendrix play.
Damn it.
He was the person I always wanted to be. I didn't know who he was. I didn't know anything about him. I just I used to hear his noise coming out of my brother's bedroom and think like, I want to be. I saw a poster on the wall, and at that age of like 10, I used to think, I want to be Jimi Hendrix. It didn't dawn on me I couldn't be Jimi Hendrix. There are many reasons, but I just like the idea of someone who just lived completely kind of outside of reality. I mean, at 10 you've got no agency. You're just like, you're stuck in school. Doesn't matter what you say, what you do. That kind of stuck with me. I think seeing Bowie was probably the thing that seeing Bowie live was the thing that really it made me think, whoa, I'd love to do that.
Have you got a favourite Bowie track? That's very hard.
It really is. I mean, it would probably have to be Life on Mars, just because I had a very special first dance to Life on Mars.
Tell me
I love
more.
Young Americans as well. I just, when that album came out, I remember hearing that song and thinking, whoa, I listened to it over and over and over. Yeah, still, I mean, it's an enormous influence on me.
The special dance, who was that with?
With Mary.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. I was going to ask whether there was a song that you have together. Would that be the one?
Yeah, it's that.
And does she like the album? Is she approving of the album? Is she the person that you play stuff to get approval?
She's one of 3 people. Yeah, she's the one that actually got me to finish it.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you were struggling.
She keeps adding things into deals that, like, if you don't finish the album, then. and the list is getting so long. I was finding it difficult to live because there's so many things I couldn't do until I finished the album.
What kind of things?
I'm not going to go into them, but just they were, it was starting to become a very long list. She just she felt it would do me good if I finished something. I've fallen into this way of being over the last few years where I kind of leave things hanging, and I haven't really thought about it too much, but I know it's like, which I never used to do. I always used to be very like, we're doing something, we're going to finish it, and I'm not sure what it is. I could probably analyse myself at some length and figure out there is some kind of reason for it, but
she made you finish the album.
Yes,
Good.
and also she was the one that I played. My version of the album was actually was relentless. There are lots of songs that we haven't put on this album. There's another like 22 songs that we recorded that I'm finishing as we go along, and I was making the mistake of trying to finish everything so that I could then choose the album. And she was like, well, you'll be doing this for like years. You'll never finish it. So I said, okay, these are my favourite 13 songs, and I played it, and she's like, no one will ever listen to that twice because it's too much. So she pretty much actually picked the songs, for the album. So
yeah.
She was right, actually, because the response has been, see, my album was so long, it was over an hour, and she started saying to me, you always make that mistake, and every time the albums are too long, and they are, she's right, and I always say, well, should we take a couple of songs off?
It's a god-awful...
Do you have a treasured possession? Is there something that is very special to you that you have at home? It might be a picture, it might be an artefact, it might be...
the first thing that comes into my mind, because you said about like my cardigan.
Yeah.
Because my mum used to knit, so I've got a hat and matching fingerless gloves, which have got like finger things that come over the top and a thumb thing.
I know the ones.
And I drew it for her, and she knit it from my drawing. It's like I was thinking, that's incredible how you've done that, Mother.
Aww.
And that's what sprung into my head, because I've been wearing it recently, because now the weather's turning, so I've started wearing a hat.
You wear a hat. Nice.
A big square wooden hat with bubbles on the top.
A square wooden hat with bubbles on the top.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'd like to see photographs. And final song, if you could choose an exit song, so a piece of music or a song that you love so much that you'd like it to be the last song that you listen to.
What can it be, Marla?
Could be, yeah. Quite often we have.
I don't know. Let's have a Mogwai song. That'd be it.
Mogwai.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much anything that hasn't got vocals on.
All right.
I buy into the instrumental stuff more than or My Bloody Valentine song or something. I've invited lots of people for the upcoming album show, my heroes, and so that, and most of them have said yes, so they're going to be there. So this week is actually kind of like quite scary in some ways, because I know that I know it sounds weird, but I'm going to be playing to people that I think are like absolutely genius at what they do. So it's
oh my gosh, like who'll be there?
So Kevin Shields will be there, and Stuart, and quite a lot of people will be there. It's one of those things that when I get invited to something, I think that's really sweet that someone invites me, because you just sort of like imagine their people will just like say if you want to go, but there's something just in you, if you get invited to something, just makes you feel better about it. And so sometimes I get invited to things to go, that's really nice, and I go, whereas I could probably go anyway, but
you're really putting yourself through it, just inviting those people, and so you've got to give the best gig of your life when you're up there on stage.
Exactly, yeah. That's what part of my the intention was, so that those people are there, and I know they're there, is like to make me think, okay, I'm not going to just like swan through this week. So.
You certainly don't make your life easy for yourself.
I do.
It's been so nice to speak to you and talk to you, and thank you so much for all the music that I've loved throughout my entire life. So Robert, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, let's play some Mogwai. There you go, the choice of Robert Smith from The Cure, who you've been enjoying this evening. Now, they say never meet your heroes. Well, I've just met mine, and he didn't disappoint. Tonight has been a really big deal for this pathetic goth who used to listen to The Cure on cassette as a young student in Brighton. I really hope you've enjoyed the concert. There is an encore which you can listen to, extra tracks that the band have done. Make sure you listen out to Zoe at breakfast tomorrow morning to hear that. You can watch on iPlayer now, and you can watch the whole thing, feast on it on BBC Two Saturday evening. You will enjoy all the old songs and then also the new songs from the brand new album, which is called Songs of a Lost World, and it's out tomorrow.